The 2022 PFL season welterweight finalist is here. Dilano, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine as well. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time today. Your path last year in the Professional Fighters League was inspirational. You started from the Challenger Series and you went all the way to the finals. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way. You lost that final match, but still, it was truly something. How would you comment that path?
Um, I would basically commend that path as like God's plan, my will. Um, I say God's plan because technically I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't even the first alternate. Carlos Leal was the first alternate. I was just a second string alternate, and the opportunity came my way and I just continued to take it. And I will everything that I wanted to happen and make it happen.
And you did. You took, your destiny into your own hands and delivered quite some performances over last year. Are you currently watching this year's Challenger Series? And I'm pretty sure you were there actually for Impa Kasanganay, for your good friend Impa, right?
Yes.
Are
Yeah, I
you
was
happy
there,
that he landed the contract?
Oh, extremely happy. Yeah. I've been waiting for him to get a fight for a while now. I think he's just been on the sidelines for too long. He's just been itching to fight, and he's been putting in so much work, and I've been seeing him grow and develop for so long that I was just like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see him shine.
Sadibou Sy, your latest opponent, you lost that fight eventually. It was a unanimous decision victory for your opponent. What didn't go according to plans on that occasion?
Um, what didn't go according to plan? I didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect to lose. That's one. That's the first thing that didn't go.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I also didn't expect for me to lose unanimously. Like that basically means like he beat me across the board in almost every round, which is crazy. Because that's not how I thought the fight went after I watched it back. I think what went wrong was me. I was pressuring the whole fight, but I think what went wrong was I could have done more. I could have done a little bit more. I could have pushed just that much more. I also could have, but that comes with experience. I see, and I feel like him, just being more elusive and evading a lot of shots that were coming his way. I mean, I was hitting him with a lot of stuff, and the stuff that I was hitting him was hurting him. Like he was just being very elusive and evading a lot of things, as opposed to really forcing engagement with me. And I
So,
think that also threw off my game a little bit.
so you disagree with the judge's decision?
Oh yes, 100%. If they were to
Right.
say, "Oh, he won by a split decision," okay, cool. The fight was pretty close, but for me to have lost by a unanimous decision didn't make any sense to me. But at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about it because I lost. He beat me. It is what it is. He beat me. All it did was drive me to want to become a better fighter, and put me in the mindset of having to be the guy to not leave it to the judges anymore.
Right now, you're preparing to face Magomed Umalatov on April 14th. How is your preparation for this fight?
My preparation for this fight is sharpening up the tools that I've already have developed. For him particularly, just making sure I just put a pace on him from the beginning and just continue to work and just outwork him. My goal is to finish him. My goal is to finish everybody this year. Um, I'm not going to search for the finish. I'm not going to hunt for the finish, but the finish will come and the finish will happen the way I want it to happen. My goal is just not to leave it to the judges anymore.
Did you make any adjustments from the last season, considering that you have now so much more experience in the PFL and particularly in the PFL format, considering that you're going to compete a lot this year too?
Oh, I made huge adjustments. I think the biggest adjustment I've made was within my recovery. It was hard for me to recover in between fights, not knowing if I was going to fight or not. So I was always either in the gym overtraining because I didn't know if I was going to fight, or I was not overtraining in the gym, but I just wasn't specifically focused on anything that I needed to do within the gym. It was really hard because of how short of notice that I was taking fights on. I was taking fights on like a week notice. Oh yeah, fight, no problem, you know, and just going out there off the strength, just off of what I know and how good I believe I am.
Are you and Impa training together for the 2023 regular season?
Oh yeah, we always train together. Yeah, we always get it in.
Yeah, and you know, considering this year's roster, is there anyone in particular whom you would like to face? Can you still hear me?
Um, I like to face all of them. That's one, but I definitely want to get my rematches back for sure. Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. There is
Yeah.
a slight delay, but you are back. Sorry. Please continue.
Yeah. For me, I would definitely. I'm not searching for my rematches, but if there was fights that I would like to get back, are my rematches against Magomedkerimov and of course Sy. Uh, for just my personal reasons, and more so really to just test my growth overall as a fighter, because I lost to Karimov on a day's notice. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about that. Um, and of course, Sy, you know, I want to see how far I've grown as a fighter to really go test myself and see if those same results will happen again, which I highly doubt it will.
And what about PFL newcomer Thad Jean? You two faced each other. Of course, that fight was, you know, an amateur fight a few years ago. I spoke with him and I actually asked him about that fight. And I also asked him, you know, to comment on your, in general, if you two have any sort of rivalry, let's put it like this. So again, that was an amateur fight, but is there any part of you that would like to face Thad Jean again?
Oh, I have no problem fighting him again. I have no problem fighting anybody again. Is there a rivalry between them and I? Not that I know of, unless you got secret beef. But nah, I have no interest really. I remember how that fight went as an amateur. Like you said, it was an amateur fight, and I remember how that fight went. And I'm not really gonna stress how I performed as an amateur, because I was amateur for a reason. I'm not amateur anymore. So that already in my mind is completely different from now. You know.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Dilano, what's the motivation? What drives you to improve and to perform in front of the PFL audience this year?
Well, the first thing that's always driven me is my family, but mainly the thing that really drives me is myself. When I started doing this in, I believe, 2015, when I started training in 2015, I started doing this to, you know, just give myself an outlet for doing something, and it just turned into something more, manifested into something more. And with every challenge that I've taken, I just always wanted to continue to test myself to see how far I can go, and to really prove to myself that I am the best, that I can be the best, you know, that I'm at the top of the echelon of fighters. So what really motivates me is proving to myself that what I believe is 100% true. There's nothing wrong with my thought process and training, nothing wrong with how I've been performing, nothing wrong with this, that, or third. It doesn't matter. That's my thing. I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm the best, not to the fans, not to my family, but to myself. And that's basically my motivation for this. Like, I want to be the best. I want to be the greatest. I want to be known in the sport for a really long time. So that's my goal.
After knocking out Rory MacDonald last year, has your status changed? I personally, I noticed a certain growth in popularity. You know, I saw a lot of interviews with you. I saw a lot of more highlights. with you. So are you enjoying that this wave of popularity? Let's call it like this.
Am I enjoying it? It's all right. I'm not like, oh my God, you know. But it's not bad. It's very interesting, and I know it comes with the claim to wanting to be the claim to fame. You know, wanting to be great comes with, you know, the popularity and the people that come around you. But I try my best not to let that deter me and from my mission, from what I'm trying to accomplish. You know, I try to keep myself as focused and as disciplined and as timely as possible. So hearing this, and you know, hearing the noise behind, you know, having that height, yeah, it's fun, but you know, that's not what I'm about right now.
But you agree that that victory over MacDonald was a turning point in your career?
Yeah, it was. That's when people really started to understand the capabilities of me and not just assume that I'm always going to be the underdog or I'm just going to be the guy who just comes in there and get beat up. You know, like I feel like nobody really understood like the capabilities of what I could do in the fight. All they seen for me prior to that was a 1-2, you know, 1-2 low kick, sprawl and brawl.
Dilano, I finished my questions. Do you have any last messages before I let you go?
Guys, follow your dreams, be great. Don't let anybody deter you from the things you want to do, and always challenge yourself. What's a test without a testimony? That's it. That's all I got.
The Postman will be back on April 14th. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. Best of luck with your upcoming fight, and hopefully I'll hear again from you in the future, man.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.